So what's up everyone, and welcome back to the channel. If you're not subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button to watch me make more mistakes, like put the hay bale on its side when I'm trying to roll it. Well, obviously this isn't gonna work. That hay bale on its side trying to roll it, it's too heavy. I just can't get enough traction. I can't get it. But what the last couple weeks of feeding hay has taught me is that this way ain't gonna cut it. This way is not gonna cut it. Have a couple ideas, been talking to a few people about what to do instead of, I don't have a tractor, trying to push these hay bales, stuff like this happens. Have a couple ideas, gonna talk to you about that after we go get the cows. See right here, this is not what I wanted to happen. This is why I didn't want to. This is why I shouldn't have turned it on its side. I was trying to, I think, oh, you know what? I can flip it on its side and then flip it again, then push it. But this right here, exactly why. Why? Because the cows are gonna stand around this hay bale for the next few days and just eat on it. I can't push it, I can't move it, it's just too heavy. Now what that's gonna do is, they're gonna step on a lot of this hay. It's gonna waste a lot of it. Then the hay that they step on, they're not gonna eat. So one, it wastes hay. Two, Jordan does that. Jeez. Really, Jordan? You okay there, bud? Two, they could get hurt. Three, only so many cows can get around that bale. Look at Jordan. I don't know what it is about him. He loves to do that. Only so many cows can get around that bale, and the smaller ones are going to get pushed off by Betty or Jordan or Yoli coming over. So it makes it a little bit harder for them to eat. Four, it's too much on that one spot. It's too much on this one spot of ground. It's just too much compaction, too much trampling, just too much. Now, when we spread it out, it's enough because that's the normal way of doing it. In nature, they don't do hay bales, wind doesn't come up and automatically bale up hay. No, the cows move around for winter, see? That's what I didn't want to happen. So this bale here is probably just gonna be for the bigger cows. Rusty will come in here and get a bite, but he'll get pushed off soon enough. But the bale that I was able to unroll, that one's gonna be for the smaller ones because they won't get pushed off as easy. Now, I'm gonna have to leave this in this spot because there's just nothing I can do. I mean, I can try with the mower. I don't want to get I don't want to go get the truck out here and try and flip it that way because that's just gonna add more compaction to the ground. And you know what? This will actually be a good experiment, just a before and after kind of thing to show me and all of you why we shouldn't do this and leave stationary hay bales as Yoli gets a big chunk of grass in her mouth. Now, what my prediction is in the springtime is that this is going to be the last area to grow up, and it'll probably grow up in weeds. Now, what I'm going to do to prevent that is that when I move them out of here, I'm going to come through with a pitchfork and just try and spread this out as best as I can. And that way, when grass is trying to grow through this much hay, it just doesn't really do it too well, and it gets, with the compaction of the soil underneath, not very good. Pitchfork out and try and spread the remnants of this hay bale out just around, and if there's any bare spots I see, cover it and do that. But that was a mistake to push it that way. So like I said, I'm not doing this again next year. I refuse to do it. This is, I love working with the cows. I love doing everything. This is the part that I don't like. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna figure out a way around it. Now, couple options. What I could do, option number one, probably the option that everybody's gonna tell me to do, is go buy a tractor. Don't want a tractor. Don't necessarily really want a tractor. Why? Because, all the stuff that I do around here doesn't really require a tractor. I haven't, until now, in a year's time, until now, I haven't needed a tractor. And the cost per use on that tractor is just gonna be astronomical. It just doesn't necessarily make sense. It just doesn't make sense to go buy a tractor for a few days a year, because what I'd do is just go and, put the hay bales in the different paddocks that I want, and I'd set it up before winter starts, on a dry day, and then go kind of push them like I did, but I wouldn't cut the string off. I wouldn't cut the net wrap off, because that's what kind of made the bales fall apart. If I cut the net wrap off right when I'm going to do it, those would be pretty easy to push, okay? But I don't want to get a tractor because, like I said, the cost per use just through the roof. Now, option two, could go get an ATV, probably want one of those anyways. Go get Greg Judy's bale unroller and be able to unroll the bales like he does. That's a better option. That's a better option. I like that. It's cool. I like that. It's good. One thing it does do is, does it waste hay? That's debatable. Some people will say it does. Some people say it doesn't. I don't think it necessarily does, because it feeds the soil and puts organic matter back onto the soil. So I don't see that as a bad way. I see it as a pretty good way. And this is as close to I can mimic it right now. And we'll see in the springtime how much better the grass grows where I unrolled the bales. So we'll see about that. Now option 3 would be to go get square bales. Square bales, a little bit more expensive. Actually, they're about double, okay? Now, that's a factor into it, but what I've heard, what I've read, is that the hay is actually, whoa, that sun. The hay is actually much better in the square bales because it has room to breathe. It's not so tightly wrapped as the round bales, which is a good thing, because what I've read is it improves the quality of the hay. That's a good thing. What I could do is load up a few hay bales on the mower, on ATV, on whatever, with the bucket or with the wagon or something. We even drive out here in the truck. Throw hay bales around. 50, 80 pound hay bales, nothing. That's easy. That's, I mean, it's work because I had to pick them up and everything, but that's easy. You know, you cut it and break it off in the flakes and you just toss it. Option 3 is to build Joel Salatin style hay shed. Something that I'm actually really looking into. You know, I just got the new book, The Polyface Designs, and it makes sense. And the reason why he does it that way is because in the wintertime, the soil, especially in his area in Virginia, maybe not so much here. The soil is dormant, all the microbes in it are sleeping, but today it's going to get up to about 60 degrees, so they might actually be awake here in East Texas for most of the winter. I don't know. But what happens is that the manure piles, when they, you know, land on the ground, just like this one is from a while ago that hasn't gotten absorbed by the ground yet. Nothing has ate that yet all the way. Why? Because the microbes are sleeping. See here, look, here's an even older one here. It's still there. Now, does that leach? Maybe. I don't know. I'm not an expert on that. But if it gets too dry, the nutrients tend to kind of evaporate, and if it gets too wet, they just kind of get runny and slushy and kind of run off. Now, are we losing nutrients that way? Maybe. I would lean towards yes more than no. Not 100% sure on that, but that's my way of thinking. The reason why Joel does it the way he does is because he locks those nutrients in wood chips or in hay. Then what he does is that he has the pigs come in and till it all up, and what it does is it aerates it and it turns it into compost. He throws it into a manure spreader and then goes and spreads it on his fields, and that's one of the reasons why his fields look the greenest that they are, even during October when I was out there. I mean, it's just, wow, you can tell a difference between his place and his neighbors on both sides, really. It's just, you go, that's impressive. Now, is that something that we want to do? Maybe. That might be something. Fourth, or was this fifth way option. Now, I've been doing some reading. Now, like I said, I don't like the whole hay thing. I don't like it. It's not fun. It sucks. It's just, it's my least favorite part of the cows. And this is actually my only part that I don't like. Everything else has been great. I've had a whole ton of fun with it and just want to keep doing it. I can't wait till spring is here. That being said, I've been reading a book called Kick the Hay Habit by Jim Garish. I'll leave a link down to it in the description because it's a pretty good book. And there's ideas in there that I might want to take and might want to adopt, kind of adding my own spin to it. Because what I might do is might do it in the summer, might do it in late spring, might do it again more so for this reason in late summer, and that's come through and throw down a bunch of seed. Now, specific seeds that are 1, winter annuals, and 2, winter perennials. That way I get a mix. Now, I do like oats, barley, you know, fescue, vetch, clover, that kind of mix. My thinking, what that'll do is that'll grow up in the wintertime, and it should shave approximately about a month and a half off of our hay season, if you want to call it. And that's exactly what we're looking at right now. We're going to be feeding hay for about a month and a half. So if we can grow those winter, you know, cover crops, perennials, whatever you want to call them, I don't know what you would say to that, but just, I want to be able to graze through the winter rather than have to feed hay. Now, will I have to keep hay on hand? Yeah, of course, that's always an insurance policy, and that's always a good thing to do. But I won't have to do as much. See, here we get like no snow, and the snow that we did get this year, I mean, it was gone by 10 o'clock, so it's not like it's gonna stick around for a whole heck of a long time. So we don't really need to feed hay here. Will this system work in Minnesota? I doubt it. How about in North Dakota? I don't know. Gabe Brown's doing something up there pretty cool. Thoughts is behind the cows, go and throw down a bunch of winter cool season grass seed. That way they can come through here and graze this off again, because right now our pastures, especially over here, they're just basically 90-95% Bermuda grass. And Bermuda, it's a good grass. It's a good grass because it's high in protein, but it's more of a weed than anything. It's not native to here, and it just grows really well here. But I think that, you know, anytime that you have basically a monoculture of anything, it's not good. And when there's, yeah, it's upwards of 90% Bermuda grass, especially on this side of the farm, not the best thing. Now, why isn't that a good thing? Because when you eat anything the same, not too good. But when you can break it up and have diversity, you know, you don't want to just eat salad. You want salad with some cucumbers, salad with some, you know, broccoli, salad with whatever. That is a much better mix rather than just eating the same thing over again, because in the Bermuda grass, there's stuff that's lacking. And when you have a whole diverse species of grasses out there, you'll be able to get at least most of the nutrients that the cow needs. And then in the wintertime, the Bermuda just doesn't do well. It just doesn't do well at all. You know, it doesn't hold up. It's just dormant, doesn't grow, doesn't have any green on it basically whatsoever. Look at that, nothing. So look, there's green there that's trying to grow up, but I made a mistake and mowed behind the cows in the late fall. Don't do that. Why? Because then this happens. There's nothing for them to eat. But if we had, you know, clover and even fescue, some people hate that stuff. Some people hate that stuff because of the endophyte. But if you read like what Greg Judy says, the endophyte is near the bottom of the plant. What it is a fungus in the grass that, you know, kind of restricts blood flow. But if you graze off the top of what I've read, it shouldn't be an issue at all. And it gets green material into the plant and it grows like crazy, especially during the wintertime, which is what we need here. So the way I justify that is I think that the top third, even top half of fescue is better than whatever hay that we can give them. Why? Because it's a growing, living, live plant, not just some dormant hay. So I like that idea. I might do a mix of kind of all of them. I might just do a mix of all the different ideas. I think I really want to throw some cool season grass seed out here, see what happens. Really want to look into, it might not happen this next year, maybe the year after that, building Joel Salatin style hay shed and, you know, capturing all the nutrients and throwing compost out on the fields after the cows are out of there. I like that because it's a lot less work and you can get a little bit of a break too. I know that's why Justin Rhodes is doing that, and he spent all that money on building that hay shed. You know, we all need just a little bit of a break. You know, it's nice in the wintertime when it's not freezing cold out to just go out, you know, take care of everything in 5 minutes and get back inside and get all warm. But what I'm also gonna do, as Jordan's eating away on the hay pile, is I think if I throw that seed, I'm gonna do a summer seeding as well, to do something like sorghum Sudan. That way I can get a little bit more stockpile and be able to graze the cows a little bit farther into wintertime. That way I don't have to rely just on the winter. They're on the cool season grasses that I'll throw. Then also maybe on just a section over there, or just like on half an acre. What I want to do is I want to go get some of what they would call the Big Four. That's the main native grasses that used to grow here, that the buffalo used to have here before people started, you know, fencing in cows and letting them graze it down until it just eventually disappeared. And that is switchgrass, Indian grass, big blue stem, and eastern gamma grass. Now the eastern gamma, it needs a stratification, so it has to go through a winter before it germinates because it's got a really hard seed on it. But the other grasses, I think, now just in a little section, just do a little experiment. If I move the cows like I'm doing, they should be able to grow. We have some Indian grass over on that side of the farm. Some, I think, big blue stem, not sure, kind of iffy on that one, but I know for sure it's Indian grass. But if we put it over there and let that keep growing, let that keep going to seed, start to spread, hopefully 5, 10, 15 years from now, the whole farm will eventually be covered with the native grasses. Now, if you look at the Now some people might say, oh, that's why you're trying to get rid of your Bahia, that's why you're trying to get rid of your Bermuda grass. Yeah, it is. Why? Because look at just, there's been charts done to where the amount of, you can just calculate it by hay. The amount of hay that will come off a field that's in Bermuda grass versus Eastern Gamma grass. And it's like 5 times more. Now, don't want to hay it, I want to let the cows graze it, but that means that the cows can be in a place 5 times longer with Eastern Gamma grass than Bermuda grass. That's a big deal. And why is that? Because the cows, they'll come over there and graze it. That's the ice cream grass. They call that the ice cream grass of grasses for cows, because that's the first thing that they'll eat. That's also why it's kind of almost gone extinct. Huh, Betty? That's the first thing that you'll go to. But by doing that, there's just more biomass, there's more carbon that can go onto the ground, there's better nutrients for the cows to eat, and just, you know, our native grasses that grew here 100 years ago before we brought in the cows, when the buffalo were still roaming around here. And then if you look at the taproot on some of those plants, I mean, it goes down like 8 feet, which is crazy. So I think that's just a project for the summertime, to go do that big 4 mix and then throw in some summer annuals. That way, you know, when those grasses are starting to grow, the sorghum Sudan would probably be up here, and the, you know, the big blue stem, the switchgrass, still on the bottom. Cows might not necessarily see that right away and leave it alone. Take off the sorghum Sudan, keep rotating around while the other grass is growing up, let it get established, let it drop its seed, the cows will graze it off, and we can just get those native grasses back here. I think that'd be really cool. Now, those grasses are really expensive. That's why I want to start doing it in just a couple little sections, experiment, see if it works, because if it doesn't work, I don't want to go see the whole farm like that. And that's a lot of money, especially when you look at, you know, how much they are per pound of seed. And each acre, you know, we have 30 acres here, needs multiple pounds. That's a big deal, because we want to remain profitable here, all the while healing the land. So, you know, do both at the same time. But as for winter, this is not happening again. This right here, I'm not doing this again. Why? Because this is just not fun. It's just not fun, and I don't like doing things that aren't fun. Why? They're not fun. But everybody's looking good. This is the way you want it to be. See, everybody's in a line over here, spread out, eating the grass, eating the hay that I unrolled, which is a good thing, because, you know, we don't have too much on the ground here anymore, because when I did mow, a lot of it did get, you know, eaten by the worms or whatever's in the soil. The Actinomycetes. It's always fun to say. Huh, Daphne? So we're doing good here. So they're good, like this right here, whereas just a little bit of hay, they come, they'll clean this up, not too much gets wasted. And I went and did donuts over there because the hay bale wouldn't unroll. But that right there, that what Jordan's eating on, will not happen again. I'm gonna have to come through with the pitchfork and spread this out once I move them out of here in the next couple days, because that was a mistake. I was like, okay, you know what, I can flip it twice. No, you can't flip it twice. Once a hay bale that heavy, that size is on its side, you're gonna need at least probably 3 people to move that, because I'd like to think that I'm pretty strong and I can push those pretty easily. I could get it about halfway to where I need it to be. Another person, probably 3 people for sure, or I go get a tractor or a trailer, or I go get a tractor, or, you know, I can go probably move this with the truck. But like I said, I don't want to get the truck out here. It's still pretty soft from like almost 20 inches of rain since like the end of December till now, which is crazy. I like the rain, just not all at once. You know, we had like 13.5 inches in 2 days. That was a lot. And then it's just been raining like every other day since then. So yeah, kind of over the rain now. Just kind of want to be able to get to springtime. We're almost there. Right around early March is when the grass should start growing again, because we're almost a year here. And I was able to look back on the videos, which is actually a really cool thing, and see how much grass was growing when we were here, because there was cows on this place when we were here. I had to go and get them off. But there was some grass here growing on March 3rd when we got here. So we're almost there. Just almost there. Get through winter, and just, this has just been a big learning experience for me. This has been a big eye-opening experience for me, because this ain't happening again. So now just gonna go get the cows mineral, bring over their water, and remember this, we're building a database of regenerative farms all throughout the country, and we're gonna just open it up to the rest of the world, to where we connect farms to consumers. And all they have to do is go onto our website, go to Farm Locator, type in their zip code, type in their address, and it'll connect them to farms that carry the products that they're looking for, that are closest to them. It keeps the food local, it keeps the farmers making money, and you know what? We think we're gonna do something pretty big here. So if you're a farm, go to that farm application on our website. I'll link it down below. Sign up. It's completely free. Just remember, it's completely free. Go sign up and be entered into our database, and we'll be able to start sending customers your way. But with that, I'm gonna sign off here. So hit that subscribe button down below, ring the notification bell to get notified when we put up new videos. Hit the like button because it really does help with the YouTube algorithm. And go sign up. If you're a farm, go sign up. If you're looking for this kind of food, we have a couple farms signed up already, but you know, wait, because in the next 2-3 months, I think we're gonna have quite a significant amount of farms signing up with us, and you'll be able to find food in your area that you want to eat, that you feel comfortable eating, that you'd be proud to eat, and will do good for your body. All right, until next time, see ya.